Did you know that the Social Security Administration can actually charge you more premium for your Medicare if you make a certain amount of money? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Zach Morris, and I'm a founder of Paces Ferry Wealth Advisors. And today I want to talk to you about IRMAA, or the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount that they apply to Medicare if you make over a certain amount of money. And I want to talk to you about how you can potentially appeal IRMAA and pay significantly less or nothing depending on how much you're making in retirement. The first thing to know about IRMAA is that there's 6 different income thresholds, and it's based on your MAGI, or Modified Adjusted Gross Income, your MAGI. And your MAGI is based on your adjusted gross income, but then you have to add back certain things that were excluded from your AGI. So some of the examples of things that you have to add back to calculate your MAGI are untaxed portions of your Social Security and even tax-exempt interest. Now, if you've received one of these letters in the mail before, you'll know that there's a Part B adjustment for your IRMAA, and there's also a Part D adjustment. So they actually charge a premium on both your Part B premiums and your Part D premiums if you are subject to IRMAA expense. Now, if your MAGI is under $206,000, you may not be subject to any IRMAA at all. However, if you've recently retired and your income has gone down significantly, you may have received something in the mail saying that you owe IRMAA for a threshold that doesn't apply to you anymore. Now, if you don't believe that you should be in this threshold, there's a way that you can appeal your IRMAA. And if you qualify for one of the 7 qualifying events, you could potentially even win your appeal. So here are the 7 qualifying events that can allow you to appeal your IRMAA. And the one that I want to talk to you about the most today is work stoppage, because if you've retired and you're looking at this IRMAA statement that you just got in the mail, you may be seeing that you're paying an IRMAA for a certain income threshold that doesn't apply to you anymore. So it could say that you have $400,000 worth of income and you only have $150,000. Or you're only estimated to make $150,000 in your first year of retirement based on dividends and Social Security and whatever other amounts of income that you might have coming in the door. The reason why the Social Security Administration has it so wrong is because they don't have your most recent tax return. So if it's at the end of 2024, they're going to be looking at 2023 for your 2025 IRMAA. So I'll say that again. If you're looking at an IRMAA statement for 2025 that you received in the mail at the end of 2024, they're going to be basing your 2025 IRMAA off of your 2023 tax return. So if your 2023 income is much lower, you can use your 2023 tax return to appeal your IRMAA. Now, what if you don't have a tax return that proves that you have lower income? Well, you don't necessarily need it. There's ways that you can build a case to show that you're going to have less income. So it is still possible to appeal even if you don't have a new tax return that shows that your income's less. Because if you just retired at the end of this year and you know your income's going to be much lower next year, you could get a letter from your employer saying that your salary was X, now you are no longer working there as of this date, and it's signed by the CEO of the company or whoever might be a reputable representative of the company. So you can really build a case for yourself if you don't have the necessary documentation from a tax return standpoint. Now, I caution you in doing so because if you understate the amount of income that you think you're going to make, and let's say, for example, you decide to continue doing some consulting work on the side, and you thought your income was going to be $150,000, but it ended up being $250,000. The Social Security Administration will actually come back to you and tell you that you have to write them a check. Now, these additional premiums to Medicare are going to be applied to both spouses that are currently on Medicare. So, for example, let's say we have 2 spouses that are both 65 and they both retired last year. So the Social Security Administration assumes that their income is on the second highest threshold. So this threshold is $386,000 to $750,000 in 2024. So let's say they fall right there in the middle. Let's say they're at $500,000 worth of total income and they both retire. So now their income is below $206,000. So that the amount that they would have had to pay was $384 for Medicare Part B premium, $74 for Medicare Part D premium, right? So it's a total of $458 per spouse. So you multiply that by 2 and you get $916 a month that both spouses have to pay in addition to their regular Medicare premiums. So this is a income-related monthly adjustment amount. So it's an additional premium that they'll have to pay. So that total comes out to $10,992 per year that they're going to have to pay, and they shouldn't have to pay it if their income doesn't match those thresholds anymore. So it's in their best interest to do whatever they can to appeal this decision with the Social Security Administration. So when you go through the appeals process and you're generating supporting documentation, there's not a lot of clarity around what exactly classifies as supporting documentation. Now, of course, if it's the death of a spouse, you want to have a death certificate. If you've left a job, you want a letter from the employer saying that you no longer work there, especially if you're appealing before you have another tax return in order to support your claim. If you've sold an income-producing property, you probably want to have some type of bill of sale that can prove that that property is no longer there, and you can point to the section of your previous tax return where that income-producing property actually raised your total income. I hope this video was helpful today. If you learned something, please give it the thumbs up and subscribe below, and look out for more videos from this channel. Thank you.